In the quiet expanse of the ancient world, Abraham sat alone beneath a canopy of silent stars. Behind him lay the comforts of kin and home, ahead, only the promise of a God he'd only begun to know. One clear night, the Lord spoke to Abraham, "Look up at the sky and count the stars, if indeed you can count them. So shall your offspring be." Abraham, a weary wanderer with no child of his own, stared upward, the enormity of the promise resting heavily upon him. God continued, "I am making a covenant with you. You will be the father of many nations. Kings will come from you. I will be your God and the God of your descendants." Days turned to years, and hope at times flickered low. Abraham's wife, Sarah, bore no children. Their hair grayed, their backs bent under increasing age, and the long wait bred questions. Neighbors whispered, and even Abraham sometimes wondered, had he misunderstood? Yet when doubt pressed upon him, Abraham remembered God's voice beneath the stars. He built altars where God spoke, marking each promise with worship and faith, refusing to surrender to despair. Then, in the quiet folds of old age, Abraham heard the covenant renewed. "Sarah your wife will bear you a son, and you will name him Isaac." Laughter met disbelief. Sarah herself laughed when she heard the promise. But in God's appointed time, laughter became joy, and Isaac was born, a living token of divine fidelity. Through heartbreak and testing, like the command to offer Isaac on the mountain, Abraham clung to faith. With trembling hands, he obeyed, trusting that God, who had given him countless descendants in promise, could resurrect hope even from ashes. At the last moment, God stayed his hand, providing a ram as sacrifice. The covenant endured, not by human strength, but by unwavering divine commitment. Abraham's story did not end with him. From Isaac came Jacob, and from Jacob, the tribes of Israel. Through generations, the promise moved forward, kings and prophets, wanderings and exiles, until at last, Jesus, the fulfillment of God's deepest covenant, would walk the earth, offering all who believe a share in Abraham's blessing. Abraham's journey teaches us that the purposes of God transcend our timelines. When hope seems lost, faith clings to the one who speaks galaxies into being and keeps every word. The covenant reminds us, God's promises are anchored, not in human possibility, but in his unchanging faithfulness. The lesson: trust in God's promises, for he is faithful to do what he has said, even when all hope seems gone. He who promised is faithful.